so many whatnots. I'm Willow and I'm a quilter from Pennsylvania. And on this channel, I share all things quilting and sewing. So thank you for watching. This is part 2 of my first video. In the first part, I shared quilts that are being quilted and have already been pieced together. And for the most part, I am a hand quilter, so they take forever to get done. So I don't expect to be sharing a whole lot of those anytime soon. Hopefully, I'll have some updates on my Georgetown quilt that I showed that is supposed to be a Christmas present that may or may not be. So in this part 2, I'm going to show you all my other projects that I am piecing at the moment, and they are all hand-pieced projects. I don't have anything on my sewing machine right now. On that note, I do have to order fabric today for my one son. He would really love a puff quilt. So that will be a machine project, and I will end up probably putting some ties on it as well. But that will be a fully machine project, and I will show you the fabric I chose for that when it gets here in probably about a week. So maybe next week's video, I'll have something to show for that. If not just the fabric, maybe some sewing on it. I would like to do some tutorials on some of these projects because a lot of them I don't use patterns for. And the ones I do use patterns for are usually kits. So a lot of mine that aren't, it would just be fun to do tutorials, especially for hand sewing, because I really love hand sewing, and I feel like there are so many tutorials out there on how to use a sewing machine and how to piece using a machine, and not so much on hand piecing and hand quilting. And I'm more of like a modern traditionalist, if that's a thing. I really love modern fabrics, but I tend to gravitate towards a more traditional approach to creating my quilts. I do a lot of machine piecing, but I really love hand piecing. So let's get into those. First, I want to show you, let's see. Let's do this basket. I have a lot of baskets. I should use project bags because of my cats, but I love my baskets. They're so cute and convenient, and I can just grab one and take it to the couch, which is where I sit a lot. Okay, so there's a story behind this quilt. My oldest son plays football, and I went to one of his football games, and I ran into the parents of my drumline captain from when I was in marching band in high school. And they had a quilt. They brought a quilt to sit on. And I thought it was absolutely beautiful. It was gorgeous. And I wanted to make one. So I came home and I Googled, and I could not figure out what it was called. And finally, I figured out it is a very classic pattern. It's a Bearpaw. I bet everybody knows what a Bearpaw is, but I did not. So I went online, and I went online to find some sort of instructions, and I found some. But before that, I had ordered Threads of Grace. And this had just come out, and I thought the colors were so cool. I had to use it, and I had no idea what I was going to use it for. And I have not opened this one. This is the second one. But you can just see how gorgeous those are. And it's Threads of Grace by Cassidy Grace for Riley Blake. There's a bit of glare, but Threads of Grace. And I love Riley Blake fabrics. There's so many I love. Riley Blake, Henry Glass, Moda. Yeah, I just, oh, so pretty. And I had no idea what to use it for. And then I saw that quilt and I thought, oh my goodness, I have the fabric. So this is going to be a Bearpaw quilt. Now, because I love hand sewing so much, I decided to piece this by hand. So I used to knit all the time, and I mean, I've probably knit, an endless number of socks. And I used to just sit on the couch and knit these little socks with these tiny needles. And then I got Graves' disease, which is an autoimmune disorder. And with that came some random allergies, because that's what happens. And I became allergic to either the needles or the yarn or the dyes in the yarn or something. Anyways, I can no longer knit or crochet. And I don't know what I'm allergic to, but there is something I'm allergic to. So I got more into hand sewing because I used to do more machine piecing and then hand quilting. But now because of, my inability to knit, I picked up hand piecing more. And I did do some hand piecing before, like my snowman quilt and not that one. The applique on the Flea Market Flowers by Lori Holt, which I'll show another day. But now I love hand piecing so much. I love sitting and fiddling, if that makes sense. I love to sit and fiddle. And so when I'm hand piecing, I'll listen to a book, watch a podcast, watch some YouTube, watch a show. Right now I'm watching Sons of Anarchy. I am like a decade late, but I love it. Gilmore Girls I watched. I get busy. So anyways, I went on. This is fatquartershop.com, and they had a free block pattern for the Bearpaw. And so you can go on their website and get that. Again, disclaimer, I'm not sponsored. Everything in this video I have purchased myself, unless it's free like this. So other than the block pattern from Fat Quarter Shop, I am not using a pattern. So what I did was I kind of did a measurement and came up with my own little idea of how it's going to go. And then this is just like how I cut my fabric and then what I had left, and the darks and the lights. I called them print and white, but they're dark and light. That's the Graves brain. Anyways, yeah, so I just kind of did my own math, made my own little pattern. There are so many patterns out there for Bearpaw. I'm sure you can find one. Maybe I'll write this up when I'm done and offer it somehow as a download, a free download or something somewhere. But we'll see. That's in the future if I even do that. For now, I have to make the quilt. And I'll go into I really want to do a tutorial on this because this has just brought me so much joy. Like I work on this and it is happy. And I think a lot of it is just the colors. The colors just, they're smiles. They're happy. And they're really, really good for any season. They're very fall, I think. Very fall, very autumn. But then they have all the florals and oh, it's just beautiful. Anyway, so I have some notes on my Bearpaw. Let's see. Pattern, fabric, thread. Oh, thread, Aurifil 40 weight in muslin. I talked about the Aurifil in the last one, the last video. And then again, how I mark the bottom with what project it is for. So that says Bearpaw. I could use 50 weight, but I didn't order 50 weight. I ordered 40 because I think this is good for piecing and small stitch quilting. There, I lost my screen for a second. So, I mean, I could order the 50 weight to piece and then have the 40 to quilt. I just get a big spool and yeah, I probably get 2 quilts out of this easily. But, yeah. Okay, so I don't want to do too much here, but this is one of my paws. And look, just look how pretty that fabric is. It is so gorgeous. I love it. And these are all hand pieced. You can see on the back. And then there are 4 of these. I only have 2 sets done so far. Here's another one that I put together. And then I have, let's see, these cut out. I have, okay, so these will be part of the sashing, no, kind of, okay. So there's like, you make these little blocks. I need to get a board to put these on so you can see. I'll make one this week maybe. So there's going to be 4 of these. Let me just show you just right there. Oh, where am I here? Okay, so you have 4 paws and then you have like an inner piece. I don't even know. My brain is not with it. Okay, so you have 4 of these. And then you have an inner piece like in like this, whatever. And then you have these which go inside as well. Anyways, I'm not sure if I want to do 4 of one color or let's see if I can manage to get these, or do 4 different colors in one and make it a little more scrappy. But I'm going to do a video on this, especially I really need a board to put this on so I can show you guys kind of like my thought process with these. So I just have, my basket has all my pieces in it. I will be using all of these for the sashing between the blocks. So these are like blocks within blocks. So 4 of these make a full block. And then this will go in between. So look how pretty these are. This is my favorite one. Like I love this. This is just gorgeous. And that one is in the white, and let me see. Wow, it's in, yeah. It's in this too. Oh, it's just so pretty. That is my favorite. Like if I could just make a whole quilt out of this, just that right there. Anyways, so this is just, oh, I just love this. It's the greatest thing ever. And I have all these that I am hand sewing. And these are the half square triangles. And then, let me see, I have one here. And so you sew, you mark 3 lines, one straight down the middle, and then one 1/4 inch off of both sides. And then you sew these 2 sides and you cut down the middle. And then you end up with 2 of these. And then that's how you make the bear paw, is these and just regular squares. So it's a really beginner friendly project, I think. If you're looking for a beginner friendly project for either machine or hand sewing, I really think this is it. This is it. This is a really good one. Sorry. And then the pen I use is a Pilot Friction. Let's see if there it is. No, maybe this way. Okay. And these come in different colors, tips, and it says removed by friction, and there's like this little thing on the back that you remove by, but I just take an iron to it and it comes right off. Now, you definitely want to test that first, because which one? Okay, so the Georgetown quilt, Moda fabric, it comes off of the whites really well, but and I'm not sure. Oh, here's one. Okay. So some of these, I'll have to find a different method for the front, and I may not mark the front at all. I'm not sure if you can see, it's so faint, but this one, I don't know if you can see that right there. It leaves like a little tiny line, a very faint yellow line after it's ironed off. And this is the Riley Blake fabric. I have not had any lines on the Moda fabric, but I have on the Riley Blake. So I can't tell you why that is, but different pens react differently to different fabrics. So I wouldn't mark a quilt top with that. It is fine for piecing. Nobody's ever going to see that. It's going to get sewn over. I have no problem marking it up. But when I go to quilt this quilt, I won't mark with that marker because I don't want the lines. And I mean, really, that's the black marker. I only have black. I have used the hot pink before. I don't remember on what. Maybe this little wall hanging I have downstairs. I'll have to pull that out and look at it. But anyways, there's my Bearpaw. I love Bearpaw. I love this fabric. I love it so much I bought another one. I have more of these white fabrics coming. And these I already have cut up. And I have more of these coming because there is not enough. Where am I? There we go. I have to get used to this. There is not enough. I don't have extra of this coming. I do of the others. There's not enough in a fat quarter bundle to do all the blocks I need. And there's actually not enough in 2 bundles. So I got a half yard of 4 of these. I think that's coming Tuesday also. I have to see. I don't even know what I bought from where and when. But I have a box coming tomorrow, which will probably be when this video goes live. So I have more for that. As for this, I may have to use some of these, but I don't need any of these for my quilt. I don't even want to open it. I might do a colorful border. I'll use scraps for binding, but I really don't think I'll use a whole lot out of here. And so I'll probably have to find something to use this for, which is fun because, I mean, who doesn't just love a big chunk of awesome fabric? Okay, so that's the Bearpaw. So next, let's do this one. Another basket, because basket. Put that one up there. Okay, this is my Cathedral windows project. And this is definitely one of the more fun things that I've gotten recently. 9.5 inch square. 9 inch. No, 9.5. Okay. Creative grids. These are amazing. I'll talk about this more when I talk about this quilt in a separate video. But this is my Cathedral windows quilt. And I haven't decided if I'm going to continue it as is. So, this I am also hand sewing, which, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. If I do this again, I would probably machine these pieces. These are just sewn up the side. You open them up, fold them, sew again. They end up looking, well, I don't have any that are partially done. They end up looking like this in the end. You sew a bunch of those together. You grab some little squares, put them in the middle, fold them over, and you end up with this. Now the fun thing about this, that's the back, is these do not need quilted. These are a quilt in itself. And then you just keep adding, well, I did 9. I put 9 together. And then I made my little windows. And then I will end up, I have a note here somewhere. I forget how many I'm going to do in a row. I think 7 by 7. So I think I need 49 of these squares. Now, here's one I have in progress. See, and it's really not a very difficult project. It looks so intimidating. But you just fold these little things over and sew them up, and you have a little window. Like that. Yeah. So anyways, I have 4 finished. And so those will get put together. Now, I'm not sure if I love this fabric with the muslin. I love this fabric. This is a fabric that as soon as it came out, I wanted to make something. And I put this on hold because as much as I love it, I'm not sure if I love the fabric I chose for the windows. It's super cute. I do like it now that I look at it kind of like in the camera. Yeah. So we'll see how that ends up. I thought about taking all of those out and redoing it with something else. But now I kind of like it. So we'll see. Again, no pattern. No pattern for that. I'm just kind of going with it. Again, just some math, simple math to figure out how many I want, how big I want it. So the fabric for that, oh, if you watched my last video, this is the one I'm using, the Gutermann. I don't remember how to say that. Anyways. And this thread is what keeps breaking on me. The shorter pieces I use, the better. If I run it through beeswax, it's better. Next time, I'll probably go with Aurifil. It's just, I'm so used to this. It's what I always used before. So I am using a bunch of these. I already have one cut up. I think I have 2, 4, 5, 6 total. I could have gone with a jelly roll, but I figured these were, oh, these also come in the 2.5 inch mini charm packs. But I figured I would just get these, cut them in 4, and call it a day. So I have these. This is Sunbonnet by Heather Briggs of My So Quilty Life, and it is a Moda fabric, and these are so pretty. You saw most of them there, but I'll just kind of go through. And she has some amazing patterns. Goodness, you know, this is difficult to do. Oh, there's one I really like. This one. And this little tulip one. And then I like these little hats. Those are so cute. Anyways, this fabric is, I love it. It is so super cute. And I thought about doing some kind of Sunbonnet Sue applique. And she has like a, is it a panel or just like a fabric that has a bunch of little Sunbonnet Sues all over it? I would rather do like an applique and like cut out my own pieces and stuff. So I might try to emulate that, like the fabric. Like I might get some of that fabric and just kind of like emulate it. Try to make my own applique out of that. But we'll see. For now, I think I'll continue. If you have an opinion on this one, please share it. Please share it. I love opinions. They really help me make decisions. Do you think that goes with the muslin, or is it too washed out? I would love to hear your opinions on that. Okay, so let's move on to do that one last. Okay, let me grab this. This is a scrap project. Cute little box. I do not have a basket for this one, and that's okay. This is a little mini 9-patch, and it is not a super mini 9-patch, but it's pretty mini. So these end up being 1 inch. They sure look like an inch. Let's see. Yeah, about an inch. Look, my grandma used to measure. That was an inch. your thumb. So I'm just kind of like, Anyways, so these are all scraps. We have a bunch of little squares there. Another pen. I have a ton of these pens. And then I am hand stitching this, and I stitch those together, then sew them together, iron them, and they go in a big pile. So I just have just like a stack of random fabrics from just a little bit of everything. There's some from that Georgetown quilt. That's some I picked up for something else. Here's some of that farmish type quilt. You know, there's just all kinds of stuff. All kinds of little scraps. There's another one from the farm quilt. And these are scraps from, oh goodness, everything. Bags. These are from little pouches I made a couple years ago. My sister had started those. This is a super cute one, again from little pouches my sister started and decided she didn't want to do, so I ended up with them. I made a bunch and never did anything else with them, so scraps from that. Oh, more scraps. This tin, I love this. This is a set of 2, and I got this at one of my local quilt shops. I love this thing. But I think these are 1.5-inch squares. And so I just have stacks of them all cut up, all ready to go. And when I have time, I just grab some and pair them up and keep working, keep making 9 patches. So this is also Aurifil. This is Dove. It's a gray. And I did not mark on the bottom because this has its own box and its own tray. Whoops, I forgot to put this stuff back. So this is fun. Repo Quilt, I think it's called. Repo Quilt. There is a blog, and I will find it and try to remember to put it in the description. But I believe it's Repo Quilts, and she does a lot of reproduction quilts. And this was just a 9 patch, and she has 3 different sizes on there. It's a free pattern. And I'm doing the middle size because the itty bitty teeny tiny ones ended up being, oh goodness, I can't remember, like super, super tiny. And I felt with my hands that these were tiny enough. So this is one of my forever quilts, which I call forever quilts because it's going to literally take me forever to make a full-size quilt. Even a lap quilt, it's still a forever quilt. So there's that. Let me see where I am on time. Oh, 33 minutes. Okay, let's get going here. All right, I have 2 more, I think. All right. This one, if you know anything about English paper piecing, you'll recognize this. This is my Hexi quilt. Let's see. Okay, first off, I have an old lunchbox from 2000-ish, 2001 maybe, from Hot Topic. It's got all my little punk stickers on the back. It's fun. Anyways, I picked up some new stickers. Try and make it a little more quilty, and those stickers are from my local quilt shop. So what I did here, I'll open this up, kind of see if you can see that. In here, I have just little hexagons that I've already kind of just like put together in a grouping that will end up being this. So there are what, 7 here? 3, 6, 7. Yeah, 7. So all the centers of these are getting a light color. Again, scraps from everything, every quilt ever, and some random, just random stuff. No rhyme or reason. I'm trying to keep them kind of colorful. Like, I don't want all blues or all oranges, all purples. Like, I'm trying to keep a good variety in each. And so I kind of pick out of my stash some that I think will go together. And then, again, I need a board. But then I'll sew all these together. And so I have a few of those in here. And this is like my little to-go box. Not that I go anywhere, but, you know, whatever. There's another one. I have a few of these in here. Usually I have about 10 at a time. Right now I have 4. So these are ready to be put into the larger flowers. And then I have scraps, papers, pins, all ready to go. I'm getting messages. Let's see here. Okay. And so these are all ready to baste and then sew together. And I have stacks of squares. These are 1-inch hexagons. And I mean stacks. I have a ton of scraps here. So I believe these are 2.5-inch squares. I would have to measure again because I think they're 1-inch hexagons. And I think you measure just what the side is. So that would be 1 inch right there. Now, I mentioned before in either the beginning of this video or the last video that I do not like using polyester or, you know, nylon. I like natural fibers, specifically cotton. But for basting, I don't care. Let's see. This is cotton. This is polyester, 100% polyester. So this is just scrap or very cheap thread that I just pick up at a box store because it's coming out. It's not staying in the quilt. And then what have I been using to sew those together? Would you believe me if I said I lost my thread? I have no idea what I'm using. Okay. Anyways, so I have my little box. I have my flowers, my stack, and then I have some other stuff here. Okay. This is where I store all my basted ones until they're ready to go in those little sets, I guess you could call. I try to keep these by color. Is what it is. You can see I definitely need some more of the yellows and oranges. I am pretty much out of orange. I see 2 in there. I have tons of blue. And so those stay in there. This is just a piece I'm working on that I added to the flower. Okay, so the flowers right here. And then I have to add more on to put it together. I'm not using a pattern for this either. I had started a piece and I didn't like how it was turning out, so I've been taking this apart and redoing it. So this is now how it will go together. And you can't really tell, but hopefully I'll be able to do a video on it. So this is part of the final piece, and the others are not. Or, I'm sorry, this one is. Love that camo in there. Where is that? Right there. I make journals, and I use fabric. And so the camo is from a journal I made for my son because he is just he loves military anything. And so that's from that. These come apart. So yeah, that's pretty much that. It's, again, just whatever I'm in the mood for hand piecing. And that's why I have so many couch projects. Again, a forever project because it'll take me forever. All right, so I have one more that I want to share. And this is the forever project. I don't know if this one will ever get done. But this is also a paper piecing project. English paper piecing, or EPP. And this is Diamond Stars. Show you some of these. And you can see the papers coming through from the other side, especially on the creams and whites. I love that one. That one's probably my favorite, but there's just a bunch of these. So I really like this one too. And I have no idea what this fabric is, the little flowers. I bought it specifically for this project. I have no idea who it's by. And I have a bad habit of throwing out the part of the fabric that shows you who it's by. So, yeah, I don't know. I picked up a lot of these little florals at my local quilt shop. Ah, that one's really cute too, that blue. And then this is scrap of the backing of my little farm quilt. So anyway, so how these work, I have a little box here. And you make stars out of diamonds. Let's see if I have, yeah, I don't really have anything that you can really see easily. Oh, this green one is so cute. I love the green. Okay, so what I have is a bunch of these cut out. And I just cut some out of the threads of grace. So I just have a bunch of these. There, I'm losing my screen again. Oh, I just showed you the same one. And so this one is all florals in the dark part. The stars are all florals. And then the white pieces, I don't care if those are florals. The whites and creams can be anything. But I really wanted like just floral stars. And so these will end up going together like this. Again, it would be nice to have a project board to show you how they'll go together. But they'll get pieced like this into a big quilt. And I think I figured out that I will need like 400 of these, and I think there's 18 here. So a forever quilt. But basically these are paper pieced. There's little tiny, I think they're 1 inch. Let's do that again. 1 inch. I think they're 1 inch diamonds. I have to figure out where I got the template. It was somewhere off Etsy, and then I cut them out myself. You can buy them online. I think they have them at Missouri Star and Fat Quarter Shop, both. You could probably get them anywhere online. Let's see. So again, I am thread basting with just cheap thread. And then I am putting it together with this gray thread. And some people do, like this one, they would use green. I'm not. I'm using the same thread for everything. This is a cotton with a silk finish, I think. Metler silk finish cotton. 100% cotton. Number 50. So this is a 50 weight. Well, if it's silk finish, then it can't be 100% cotton, right? That's confusing. Anyways, I never heard of this before. I got it at a local quilt shop. I have 3 in my area. I've been to 2 of them. And the one I got this at does not have a big selection of thread. And this I had originally gotten to work on my snowman quilt. But because it is flannel, it's too thin. It wasn't getting tiny quilted, tiny stitch quilting. So I'm just repurposing that into my stars. So forever, literally, I can see that one taking years and years. So put that away. And then the last thing I want to talk about real quick isn't a project at all. Isn't a project at all. But it's this. And again, I am not sponsored. I am just in love with this. Okay. This is from Fat Quarter Shop. That's probably not going to focus, but super cute little cross stitch heart on there. Printed. It's not actual cross stitch. And it's just a little tiny sewing case. Now, I think it is a cross stitch case, like you're supposed to use it for your cross stitch stuff. But as much as I want to get into cross stitch, I have too many projects. And I really love embroidery. So if I do anything, it'll be that probably. But we'll see. Because Lori Holt has some really cute cross stitch stuff that I would love to do. But we'll see. Anyway, so here's this. And I have to show it to you. They have a teal one and a pink one. And I think I'm going to buy the pink one also. And they're just so cute. They're so useful. So this is my little one I just keep on my couch. If you open it up, there's this, but I'm going to show you the top first. So it doesn't come with any of this stuff. This is all my stuff. So up here, I have, now I'm not sure what this is for. It's just like an elastic band. But I have a pair of little scissors. And then I have a little fussy cut roller that comes in very handy. There, you can see it better there. Very handy for marking my little 9 patches and smaller things. And then I have this to cut out my fabric for my little diamond stars. And then I have this cute little needle minder that I never used, but it was adorable. And so I had to get it. And that is from the Sunbonnet collection that I showed you earlier. The, who's it by? Sunbonnet by Heather Briggs of My So Quilty Life. And she has so much cute stuff like that. And then there is this, which I just put pins on. And then I'm over here. So then you flip this up and that just kind of sticks in there unless you have too much stuff in it. And then there's a little pull tab to pull it down. So this is kind of how it usually sits on my couch in one of my baskets or wherever. And so I have needles I use normally, and I might move these. And then I have needles with thread in them from different projects. And then I have these that I'm currently using on my Bearpaw. So it has like this 2 little compartments. And like in here, I have just a stack of Bearpaw ones that I'm working on. And then I have my little snips. These are so cute. I want like 20 pairs of these. They're just so tiny and little. This thimble I use for piecing mostly. And then I'm waiting on a few different types of thimbles to come up, I think tomorrow again. So I have a real cheap one right now that I've been using on my quilt because my other one, it died. It's gone. The needle's going through it. So it's not working. I have a thread puller. I have a few clips, not many. There's 4. I have like 1 safety pin. And then I have my little beeswax. Oh, it's got a threads everywhere. A little beeswax block, which this one's a little big. I might make a smaller one, but I'm really into herbalism. And so I have a big block of beeswax to make salve with, calendula salve. And so I just melted some down and I use that for my thread. So that's my little box and I love it so much. And it's too full somehow. It's perfect. It's so little. It's, the size of your hand. So it could easily fit in a bag or a purse. And you could just take a little project on the go. When I'm done my Bearpaw, I will probably keep some of my diamonds or my hexies in here. And I have 2 boys, so I'm always at football, soccer, lacrosse. I'm always at some game somewhere. And so this will be nice to take with me and, for the warm-up time when you're not really watching, you're just waiting for the game to start. So I love this. I love this. I love this. I recommend this. And I want to buy like 50 of them. This changed my life, literally. So that's all I have. So that's part 2. And like I said before, I'm new at this. This is my first recording. Part 2, same day. So it's part of the first one. So that is what I have going on. I have so many projects and another one will be starting in about a week. But I think I'm going to do some tutorials on some of these. So if you want to leave me a comment, ask me questions. I love answering questions and I would like to do, something like a Q&A once a month or something. I don't know. I'm just getting started. This is all new to me. So I really appreciate you watching my video. I would really appreciate if you subscribed and liked my video and leave me a comment. Tell me what you're excited about. Show me one of your projects, especially your forever projects because they literally take forever. They're just fun. You can find me on Instagram at So Many Whatnots. And that's it. Thank you so much. See you next week.